I wanted to be outside. You know, I'm an outside girl. So I just came outside and Leo wanted to come and he gets cold. So I'm laughing because I put him on I put a little blankie over him. So I just cracking myself up. So have a seat. We're going to do a 30-minute core and stretch with some weights. Hopefully you just need one weight, actually, just one weight and one block. And I want to start with a quote, as always, because I just think that that's a great way to start. It's an opportunity to just sort of reflect, right? So many of us, even though we're just on day 3, we've already hit some obstacles. And so one of my favorite quotes, and this is in your handout, so if you reflect back on the Flexible Warrior Basic Principles handout that you got, the quote on the last page is one of my favorites. I have so many favorites. And that is this: peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of all those things, but still be calm in your heart. Right? So we're going to hit obstacles, we're going to hit hard times, and it's like we talked about on day 1 and in the prep materials, it's either a victim mindset or it's a warrior mindset. And so hopefully more and more, and it's not always going to be perfect, because there's going to be times when we have an injury and we're sick and a family member struggling, you know, the aging parents. I know a lot of us are struggling with that right now. And so we get down and it is hard, right? And I just want it to be easier. That was one of the quotes on my wall in my studio that I've shared several times. You know, dear universe, I'm open to things being easier and magical, right? And so sometimes they are, and sometimes not so much. So either way, we're going to choose the warrior mindset and to focus on what we can control. And you are all here right now because you are committed to your self-care. And so that's not always going to be perfect, and it is about progress, not perfection. But because you showed up, whether you hit an obstacle or not, and many of us will in a 20-day, 21-day period, we're going to choose a warrior mindset and focus on what we can control. And one of the very few things in the world that we can control is our own choices that we're making. And, you know, we can't control the weather. We can't control what other people do. It's just one of those things. The letting go is huge. It's huge for me. Just constantly letting go and focusing on what I can control. So good for you. So again, it's going to be about 30 minutes. You're going to need just one weight and a block. If you don't have a weight and a block, it is okay. You can do this practice without it. It's just going to enhance some of the poses. Okay, Luna, go ahead and hop up. Let's go ahead and start in child's pose. We're going to do a sun salutation that's got a little bit of core included with it. So sit your hips back onto your heels. Typically I'm filming from that direction heading this way in the morning as the sun rises. So this is a different perspective, which is beautiful. Hips back to heels. It's a little chilly for me, but I really wanted to be outside. Take a very deep breath into your low back. Reset your intentions, your word, your phrase, your mantra that you've set, and then make your way into downward facing dog with an exhalation, push back. And take a couple nice deep breaths in and out through your nose. You can feel free to pedal your heels right and left. Feel a strong foundation through your hands, grounding you, and the heels dropping right and left, stretching the calves and the ankles. Look to your hands and take a walk to the front edge of your mat. Line up your toes. Do your halfway lift. Feel the belly pull in and up. And by the way, the belly and the core are the home of perseverance. So even here on day 3, we need to set our intention that we will persevere, and the whole progress, not perfection. So belly in and up, home of inner strength. Exhale, fold forward, relax your head and your neck and your shoulders, let it all go. And then rise to standing on your inhale, take a deep inhalation, reach all the way out and up, and then mountain pose, good alignment. Again, we're aligning our thoughts with our actions as we stand tall and open in mountain pose. Okay, sun salutation, we're going to inhale as the sun comes down. It's usually a sun salutation while the sun is rising, but now today we're going to salute it as it's setting. Come into a forward fold. Look forward, inhale again. Feel that belly pull in and up. And then exhale, round your spine and forward fold again and step back to a plank pose. So we know that plank is a great core strengthener, so we're just going to start there. As always, honor, protect, listen to your body, and feel free to modify your plank with a bent knee if that feels better for your wrists or your back or whatever you need to take care of. Take one more very deep breath, and then what we're going to do as we exhale, we're going to pull the right knee to the right wrist and then step it back, and the left knee to the left wrist and step it back. And just, you can actually think of, instead of wrist, you can think of forearm or elbow even. Just continue to take it right and left. And if you want to modify it, just bent knee, right and left, the same thing, right, with bent knees. Okay, so let's just do a couple more of those. And then come all the way down onto your mat. We're going to do a Superman or Superwoman. You're going to fly up with your hands right underneath your shoulders, point your toes, make sure the back of your neck is long. The back of your neck is just an extension of your spine, so you're not crunching it up and looking forward like this. Once you see what we're doing, you're going to lengthen out your cervical spine and then lower back down. We're going to do that 5 times. So lift and lower with your breathing. So the inhale lifts you and the exhale lowers you. So what we're doing here is strengthening the line of the body, which is part of your core. So sometimes we just think of the core as the front of the body, but it's really everything that's not your arms, your legs, or your head. That is your core. Okay, let's do one more. So lift on the inhale and then lower down. You're going to flip over onto your back. So flip yourself straight over onto your back and just give yourself a hug, knees to chest. And from here, we're going to do a bicycle crunch. So your hands are going to come back behind your head. You're going to lift the head, neck, and shoulders up and just let the head rest into the hands. So you're getting lots of support for your head and your neck. And then take your right elbow towards your left knee. Point your toes, lengthen out through those legs, and then switch sides. So taking it right and left, alternating and breathing. So really try to get the head, neck, and shoulders as high up from the mat as you can and rotate the shoulder towards the opposite knee. So think of the shoulder to opposite hip even. Okay, a couple more here. Bicycle crunch. One of my favorites, I mean, I feel like I've been doing this for 40 years, right? Go ahead and release down, hug your knees into your chest. Now from here, we're going to rock up into a boat pose, and you're going to do the best you can not to touch your feet to the mat as you rock up. So get a little rocking motion and come up to balance in boat pose. Pull the shoulders back and down, lengthen through the toes. You can keep your hands supporting behind your thighs if you like to, or bring your hands into prayer. And then what I want you to do is rotate the elbow to the opposite knee, just like we did sort of in bicycle crunch, and then switch sides. And so we're going to add a weight to this on the second round. But again, you can see that you can do this without a weight if you don't have one. It's all good. Okay, you're getting some oblique work here. You can always do this with your feet down, by the way, if that feels better for you. Go ahead and bring it all the way back, and we're going to flip back over onto our stomach. So flip yourself all the way back over to your stomach, and we're going to inhale, come into a cobra pose. So get a good stretch, wiggle around a little bit if that feels good for you. Curl your toes, lift your hips up, come into downward facing dog with your exhalation. And breathe in and out through your nose. So take a moment to just reset. Think of that quote again, peace comes from the inside. It doesn't mean that we're not going to ever have chaos in our lives. It just means that we're going to try to respond in a peaceful way, the best possible. That's why we practice it here on our mat, and then hopefully we can carry it off of our mat and into our lives. And then go ahead and step your feet forward to the front edge of your mat. Line your toes up. Inhale, look forward into your halfway lift. Exhale into a forward fold, bow forward, chin to chest, nose to knees. Rise all the way up to standing. We're going to inhale. Reverse swan dive, and we're going to end up in that mountain pose again with good posture and good alignment. Oh my gosh, the sun looks so beautiful right there. I mean, I feel like this lighting is just crazy right now. Okay, we're going to come out into a wide straddle stretch. Now, we're going to always try to do a warrior pose frequently throughout this reset, because we're going to feel like we're warriors as we do this pose. And again, we carry that strength and that perseverance off of our mat and into our lives. So here's our warrior. I want you to turn your right toes away and your left heel out. Bring your hands together in prayer. Take a deep breath. Whatever happened early in the day, let that go right now. and strengthen your warrior spirit down into a nice deep warrior pose. Now, because we are working on core, I want you to really be extra mindful of the belly pulling in, the tailbone anchoring down, the heart and the collarbone lifting, and the eyes focus right out over your right middle finger. Let's take 2 more breaths and deepen the bend in your knee if you can. So really feel the core strong, the breath smooth, the eyes focused, and that warrior strength and perseverance deep within every cell of your body. On your next inhale, you're going to go ahead and straighten your right leg. I want you to reach forward with your right hand, tilt your left hip up, and we're going to come into a triangle pose. Now, what we're going to do with triangle tonight, just because it's going to be partly a core exercise, believe it or not, you're going to lift up out of this using your core. Imagine your left hand is lifting you. Inhale, and then exhale, slide back down. So on our second set, we're going to do this with a weight. So you're going to use your weight in your bottom hand. That's going to anchor you if you want to. You don't have to. Okay, and we're just going to do 2 more, just like this. So inhale, slide down. Exhale, press to your feet. Inhale, rising back up. That was actually your exhale. This is one more time. So this is your inhale. And exhale, press and rise up. Good. Turn your toes forward. We're going to get your warrior on the other side. So just reverse the toes. So the left toes turn out, the right heel away from you, hands in prayer. Take a big breath in, inhale, and exhale right down into your warrior pose. So again, mindful that the belly is drawing in, the breath is deep, the tailbone is anchoring down, the collarbone is open. Feel that length from the crown of your head down to your tailbone, that alignment. Deepen the bend in your left knee and strengthen your warrior spirit. Take 1 more very deep breath in, and then go ahead and extend the left leg out straight, and we're going to do that triangle. So you're going to reach out through your left hand, pivot the right hip up. You probably feel a stretch through your left inner thigh. Yeah, I do. And then go ahead and release down into your triangle. You're going to inhale here, and we're going to exhale in the exertion. You're going to lift yourself out of that. Okay, and just move and breathe. So sliding down, the right side of your rib cage is rolling open. You're pressing through your feet. You're using your core to lift you up. Do you feel it? Let's do 2 more. Inhale, slide down. Exhale, anchor your feet. Pull in through your core, rising up. And 1 more time. I just had my right hand on my rib cage because that helps to remind you to keep the ribs rolling open. Go ahead and lift it back up. Turn your toes forward. You can either toe heel your feet together, or you can take a hop in, whatever you want to do. Take a deep breath in. You can turn to the side and exhale and dive out of it. Let's go through it a second time, okay? So step, or feel free to hop back to a plank pose. So you are a long line of energy from the crown of the head out to the tailbone, and then elbow touches the knee or knee touches the elbow, right and left. This is core plank, and just alternate. Alternating right and left, strengthening your core. Let's do 1 more on each side. And then lower all the way down to your mat for your Superman, Superwoman. Float it up. And on the second set, if you want to make it a little bit harder, you just take the arms and reach them out by the side. That's a longer lever length. Makes it feel like it's a little bit heavier. If that strains your shoulders, doesn't feel good on your back, then keep the hands under the shoulders. Last 2. And last 1, flip over onto your back. And by the way, this is more of a gentle, it's not super hard. It's not super easy, but it's not super hard. So we don't have to always try to kill ourselves, right? Move very mindfully, very mindfully. Hug your knees to your chest, rock it out right to left. Hands come out behind your head. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulders lift up, and then come into bicycle, right and left. Taking it from side to side, reaching through the toes mindfully. Hello, Bruno. And then really thinking about shoulder to opposite hip. Getting those obliques involved. Let your head rest back into your hands. 1 more time on each side. And bring it back. Now, hands come underneath the thighs. Give yourself a big hug. And we're going to rock back up to boat, trying to catch your balance without touching your toes. Now, you can do this boat without the weight, okay? But if you want to grab your weight, feel free. You can hold on to it like from right to left like that, one hand on each end, and then alternate right elbow across left knee, left elbow across right knee. Again, if you'd rather do it with your feet down, you can certainly do that, or continue to balance. Okay, couple more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Go ahead and release the weight out of your way, and then make your way back to child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead down. Take a deep breath into your back body. Curl your toes, lift yourself up. Downward facing dog. Press back. And we're breathing in and out through the nose to reground and reset. Look to your hands, step, or feel free to hop your feet forward to your hands. Inhale, look forward, make sure that belly is pulling in, home of perseverance and inner strength. I can and I will. Exhale, fold and let it all go. Rise all the way up to standing on an inhale. Feel your feet press into your mat. Your hands reach up to the sky. Take a big breath in, full body stretch, and then good alignment in your mountain pose. Okay, turn towards the side of your mat, and we're going to do our second warrior. We're going to incorporate the weight once we get to the triangle pose, if you want to. Turn your right toes away and your left heel out. Bring your hands together in prayer. Take a big breath in, reaching up, and then exhale, sinking down into your warrior pose. Now, mindful, again, belly is in, spine is in alignment, collarbone is open, and we are strong and determined. And remember, it is about willpower, right? Doing hard things, getting out of your comfort zone, challenging yourself, letting go of things that don't serve you anymore. But it's also very much about self-care and about chill power. So if you are struggling with a stressful time, it's okay to just relax and take a nap sometimes and all that good stuff. Okay, go ahead and straighten your right leg. Now I want you to reach down. If you're going to use the weight, carefully pick up your weight. You're going to hold it in your right hand, okay? Your left hand can be on your left hip. You're going to slide your right hand down towards your right ankle. If you want to, you can have your left arm up. You're going to strengthen from your core and lift back up and out of it. So this is great for your obliques. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift up. Leo's having a little fit over here, probably because he's cold. he's a little bit of a spoiled Chihuahua mix, you know the type. Breathe in and exhale. It's good for him, though. It's a little character builder. Okay, last two. Last two. It's not that cold, Leo. It's pretty nice out, actually. This is your last one. So this is a great core strengthener, right? Totally different probably from what you're used to doing. Inhale, lift up and out of it. Nice job. Now from here, we're going to get a little straddle stretch in, and then we're going to do the other side. So you can just take your weight. You can carefully put it down. If you do have your block right there in front of you, you can use it for your straddle stretch, by the way. In your straddle stretch, your toes are turned slightly out, your heels are turned slightly in, and your forehead is releasing down towards the mat. So you get a nice stretch through the hamstrings, a nice release for the low back. And again, a great opportunity here as we're in the straddle stretch to contemplate that quote again. Peace. It doesn't mean to be in a place where there is no noise, no trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of all of those things and still be calm in your heart. Okay, go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. You're going to lead with your heart. Go ahead and bring it all the way back up. We're going to do our warrior pose this way. And then after these last poses, we're going to wind down and stretch. So we're really keeping it a short but effective. It's really about the consistency, like that you show up frequently, 3 times a week. Okay, so go ahead and bend your left knee, bring your hands together in prayer. Take a very deep breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, go ahead and come into your warrior. And you know what to do. Be mindful, be present, really set that intention that I will persevere when it's challenging. I'm going to take really good care of myself. Take 1 or 2 more breaths. You can sink a little bit deeper if you can. And then go ahead and rise back up to that and carefully pick up your weight. Okay, your feet are still going to stay the same. It's triangle pose. It's just a little bit of a core with it. So you slide that weighted object down towards your ankle or towards the floor. You can have your hand on your ribs if you want to, just to keep yourself mindful that you're rolling open and not slouching forward. Okay, move and breathe. So you inhale as you lower, and you exhale as you lift back up. Okay, so if you can do a couple more just like that, moving and breathing, you're mindful that your feet are grounded into the earth. Last two. And this is your last one. Inhale and exhale. Nice job. Okay, so from there, go ahead and put that weight down. We're going to do our straddle stretch one more time. If you want to use your block, you certainly can. Hands on your hips. You're going to inhale, lift and open the heart. You can look up towards the sky if you are outside. And then exhale, fold forward. And this is such a wonderful stretch. Your hands can be on the block if you want to, or if they can just be on the floor if that's comfortable and within your reach. And then you relax all tension from your neck and your head and your shoulders. And it's a great opportunity to kind of shake out your head too. So just shake it out. Relax your neck completely. Such a good stretch for the cervical spine too. So if you do tend to have tension in your neck, just know that your head is heavy, right? Your head weighs a good like 15 pounds most, I think 12, 15 pounds. So when you release and you just really let go of the weight of your head, it tractions or lengthens out the cervical spine, which is a great stretch. Go ahead and lift it up. You can bring your hands back to your hips. Again, lead with your heart as you come all the way up. And again, toe heel your feet together, or feel free to hop in if you want to. Okay, we're going to work our way down to the mat. So walk over to the side of your mat. You can move your weight and your block off your mat if they're in your way. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, take a dive out of it into a forward fold and step back to child's pose. So right knee back, left knee back, hips to heels, forehead down to the mat. Yes, if you saw my Instagram today, I kiss my dogs like crazy. I just can't stop kissing them sometimes. If you can relate to that, probably. Oh, good downward dog, Luna. Very nice, very nice. Okay, go ahead and make your way onto your mat or in your back. So you can lie down on your back and just hug your knees into your chest. And we're going to do some stretches. So with your knees into your chest, you're going to give yourself a big hug. Thighs to rib cage, rock a little bit from right to left. Good. And then from here, we're just going to do a nice gentle recline twist. So take your knees over to the right. Let me move to the side here so you can see a little bit better. And then you can stretch your left arm out straight. So your knees are to right and your left arm is out straight. And you're just getting that nice release through the low back. Your right hand can rest on top of your left knee. You're giving it a gentle press down and taking a couple nice deep breaths in and out through your nose. And then go ahead and bring your knees back to center. Let's just switch that and do the same thing on the other side. So knees over to your left side, your left hand can go on top of your right knee. Give it a gentle press down. Deep breaths in and out through your nose. Calm, deep, cleansing breaths. Peace on the inhale. Exhale, stress and tension with the out breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself up to sitting. And what I want you to do is actually try, if you do have a block with you, a variation of Shavasana tonight. So if you don't have a block, it's totally fine. You're just going to do regular Shavasana. But if you do have a block, what I want you to do or try to do is take the block, and it's going to be long ways for your spine, and it's going to be right around the thoracic or the upper middle back, and you're going to lay over the block and relax your head back over the block. So if you have a ponytail in, you might want to move that out of the way. Make sure your neck feels okay in this position. If it causes any stress on your neck or your shoulders, then you're just going to do regular Shavasana, flat on your back. We are going to do a few more stretches right after Shavasana, but for right here, right now, I want you to take a time out, and I want you to just pause and breathe and settle in. And even on this day 3, just take a moment to reflect on your small victories. It could be something so small, like you drank enough water today, or you replaced your coffee with an herbal concoction, or you got your smoothie in, or you went for a walk or a run. Whatever you did today and yesterday and the day before, the food you prepped and all of the things. Again, progress, not perfection. So just take this time to reflect and to be proud of yourself for showing up and for taking small actions. And then from this place, feeling this sense of peace that you feel right now, have that commitment to carry that sense of peace off of your mat. Maybe right after class tonight, you can journal a little bit. If you are dealing with some obstacles right now, maybe journal a little bit about what you can control, how the superfoods and the self-care will only strengthen you, and the little things that you can do that are within your control. You can journal about that tonight. So go ahead and give yourself a big hug. Draw your knees to your chest. Be grateful again that you showed up. And we don't always have to push so hard. One of my favorite quotes, and again, you know, I have so many favorite quotes, and I'm good at, like, I kind of get the gist of them, but I can't repeat them exactly unless I have them written down. But it is to the effect that at no time do we ever have to do more than we can do in peace. When I first read that, I was like, oh, that's me. I sometimes will push myself way beyond, you know, my level of peace. And so I have to step back and I have to remind myself, slow down, it's okay. You never have to do more than you can do in peace, right? Because then you're sacrificing, you're raising your cortisol levels, you're raising your stress levels. And when we raise our cortisol and we raise our stress, we're more prone to all disease. The doggies are totally discombobulated tonight. There's lots going on in the neighborhood with barking dogs and all of that. So this is a good reminder always for me too, having 4 dogs, which is definitely chaotic, to know that we have contagious energy. So the calmer that I am, the more calm the people will be around me. Do you ever feel like that when you're around certain people? So be part of that ripple effect and be a carrier of peace, and know that it is positive, contagious energy. Okay, 2 more stretches, you guys. Come into child's pose. Hips back to heels, forehead down. Reset your positive intentions. Again, hopefully you can take a moment to journal tonight, even if it's just for 2 minutes, just to reflect and reset. Maybe write down a few things that you're grateful for and a few things that you can control that you're committed to practicing tonight and tomorrow. Shift your weight forward, come into downward facing dog, curl your toes. This is your last stretch of the night. So reset, feel super grounded through your hands, drop through your heels, feel the belly pull in and up. Again, that is the home of your warrior spirit, your navel center, your solar plexus and navel chakras. So feel the belly pull in and up, regrounding. And then walk your hands backwards towards your feet. Last stretch is Ragdoll. So you're going to separate your feet wide apart, grab onto opposite elbows, let your forehead drop down to your forearms, and just sway from right to left. Again, release the neck completely, and you'll feel that stretch through the cervical spine as you let the head go. Maybe shake your head no to something. Shake it all out. And shake your head yes. Yes, yes. I'm going to practice my self-care and take really good care of myself like I am the most important person in the whole wide world. And release your fingertips down to touch your mat. Toe heel your feet together. Inhale, slide your hands to your shins. Open your heart to lengthen out through your spine. Take a very deep breath in. Exhale, round your spine, let it go, forward fold, and then rise up to standing with a deep inhale, sun breath. And exhale, mountain pose, hands down by your side. So as we close this practice out, the end of our day 3, again, just be proud of yourself for showing up and really committing to your own self-care. Again, obstacles are opportunities. Focus on what you can control. And think about when we started this practice, it was think, move, and eat like a warrior. So you're really nourishing your warrior spirit and your inner strength, okay? Stay positive, stay strong, and stay flexible, warriors. The light within me honors and acknowledges that same light that is within each of you. Have a great night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.